Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the market follow for today, the 10th of March, 2025. We're excited to have you all here for today's market follow. And during this session, we're going to be looking at the following currency pairs and indices as we go through today's analysis. Starting off with the dollar index, we would look at what are the things we're expecting to happen and play out for the remaining part of this week. And then we'll be looking at GBP USD, Euro USD. Afterwards, we're going to also look at gold against the dollar, look at the yen basket, GBP JPY, Euro JPY, and of course, USD JPY as we start the week in trading. All right, so let's go straight into the charts and check out what the chart has to offer us this morning. Now, starting off with the dollar index, we're expecting to see, now starting off with the dollar index, we're expecting to see some moves on the dollar index since Friday's move, which was a product of the news release with regards to the NFP. But then you can look at this as a weekly swing. You would also notice that price has broken this low right here. Okay, price is taking out that low, and as a result of the movements of last week, we are clearly in a downtrend for the dollar index. That's broken weekly structure. It has also broken daily structure. So the downtrend for for the dollar index is now clear, as you can see on the charts. Now, what we're expecting to happen possibly today or into this week is a retracement back into this level here. Either this breaker block or this other block, for price to retrace into somewhere here and then continue selling off, because we want to see it fill up this imbalance residing way below here. So I'm expecting any of these moves to play out today. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting to play out on the dollar index going into this week. A possible retracement into this level and then back downwards. Now, when we say possible retracement, it means that whenever we start seeing signs that price wants to start moving back to the upside, we're not going to just take it as a random market movement. We already know where it is headed. Okay, so that is why we said possible retracement. Now, if price should trade into this level, then we would see it trading all the way to fill up here, either to this breaker block or to this other block. But one of the two is going to be filled up before price continues trading to the downside. Okay, so that is what we're expecting to see on that end. Now let's switch over to the daily time frame to see what's going on that side. So on the daily time frame of the dollar index, you can see that clearly we've been on a downtrend for a long while since price broke the structure here. Okay, so we've been breaking the structure and trading far below. Now on looking at what is happening right now, NFP has already moved price all the way downwards. Just even before NFP, I think since on the Monday of last week, we've just been seeing sell movements to the downside on the dollar. Now we've seen so many structures being broken, so many liquidities has been taken out. What we're expecting to happen now is a possible retracement and then a continuation to the downside. You can also notice that the kind of candles that have been produced since we had this last three movements, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can see that all these candles are showing signs of weakness of the bearish trend. So we might see a little pullback to this level or this level before price continues trading to the downside. So for today, I'm expecting a pullback, but if that pullback doesn't happen, we just continue selling. So by that, we mean if we see sell entries for the dollar index, we'll keep selling it. But then we'll be looking out to expect a retracement on a much lower time frame. Okay, now let's look at 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour, you can see that we are clearly bearish, just like the daily has shown us. We are currently about filling up a volume imbalance that was created, and price look to have filled it up by enough. Okay, you can see if you draw a straight line from where that volume imbalance started or that volume gap right here, you can see this is where the volume gap started. Price jumped from here all the way here. Now see, you can also notice that price has filled it up, and the moment it filled it up, it's showing us signs of a retracement. Now, looking at what is happening today, we're expecting a break of structure, and then we'd expect to see a retracement of the dollar index to the upside. So for this week, I'm expecting a retracement. Last week was heavily bullish, it was pouring down, and this week we're expecting a breather for the dollar index where we see it trading a little above from where it is, retrace properly, and then possibly continue selling. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting to happen on the dollar index. Now let's switch over to the currency pairs that are paired with the dollar. Now starting off with Euro USD on the weekly time frame. Now, if you see Euro USD on the weekly time frame, it has also broken structure, so we can get rid of all these previous markups. You can see that Euro USD has broken structure and it's trading far above. Okay. Okay, so it has traded far above from where the last sell structure on the weekly time frame is. Currently, we're just seeing it pushing higher and higher. Now, seeing the kind of gap that was created last week, we expect that there's also going to be possible retracement to the downside. So liquidity has been grabbed, structure has been broken. Let's see some retracement after the expansion has happened. Right. So on the daily time frame, Euro USD looked to have gotten a stop on this order block, close to this order block right here. Okay, so it looks to have seen a stop on this other block. So this other block could engineer a retracement. So we're not saying the other block is turning things around for Euro USD. It might be the liquidity point as an internal liquidity to engineer retracement. So what I mean by that is that Euro USD has gotten to this place. I'm expecting to see it trade a little below, maybe here, and then continue buying. So two places I'm expecting Euro USD to sell. To sell here, continue buying, or to sell all the way here before it continues buying. So these are the two places I'm expecting Euro USD to sell to, one of these two. First off, because of this previous resistance that was here, price has broken this structure. So expecting it to retest this particular structure that it broke before trading above. Or a daily box pattern that was formed around here, price may want to revisit it. So if it's giving us a very deep retracement, price may want to revisit it all the way here before trading above. Okay, so these are the two things that we're expecting Euro USD to trade into. So I'm expecting that sell. Now on the 4-hour time frame, one very interesting thing that you see on Euro USD is that it formed proper structure towards the tail end of that last move. So we could be looking out for a break of this low and then Euro USD selling to these points of interest that we've highlighted. Okay, that is what the 4-hour time frame has to offer us. But then on the 1-hour time frame, we're seeing that the sell is looking very clear. Okay, we're seeing a clear sell on Euro USD on the 1-hour time frame. So I'll be looking out for my entry signatures on Euro USD. Once I see them forming, I'll be taking a sell on Euro USD first to this point, second to this point. And then if price continues, then I'll be looking to sell Euro USD all the way to 1.04500. Okay. So this is the last place I'll be selling Euro USD to. So first place is 1.07689. The second one is 1.06283 and then 1.04500. So I'm looking to sell Euro USD all the way to any of these two places. So from here, I'm expecting this move. Okay, so you can replicate this chart and then look out for your various entry signatures that you make use of on Euro USD. Once you see them printing out, we're good for a sell of Euro USD all the way to the downside. Okay, so you see, oh, okay. So quick retake, you see that we said on the higher time frame, weekly time frame of Euro USD, I'm expecting it to sell to the downside. Haven't seen all this, yeah, haven't seen price break all the structure above, okay? And we've seen liquidity being grabbed right here. I'm expecting a Euro USD buy to continue, but before then, I want to see it retrace to this level right here and then continue buying back to the upside. Okay, so I want to see it come back here and then continue buying. Then on the daily time frame, I also said that one of the places that Euro USD has traded into is this other block right here. And this other block could be the main factor that will engineer a sell on Euro USD to the downside. Now, if this is going to engineer a sell of Euro USD to the downside as a form of retracement for this last swing, where are the possible levels we're expecting Euro USD to retrace to? The first is this level here, okay? And then the second is this level right here. Okay, so we want to see Euro USD retrace back into this previous resistance, right? Which is the place that price broke structure from, or retrace into this box pattern right here. This is being our left shoulder, our sweep, break of structure, and return to this level. So if this is going to give us a deep retracement, we should be seeing it trade all the way here. If this is not going to give us a deep retracement, we should be seeing at least this level around 1.06196. So this is where I'm expecting Euro USD to trade to today. And as at today, looking at the 4-hour time frame, it's looking good for a sell. And then these places that I've highlighted are also strong points. You can also see on the 4-hour time frame that there is an order block right here, which is this singular sell candle in the midst of these buys. Okay, so this is like a midpoint, another block in the middle of the whole move. I'm expecting that Euro USD might probably trade into this level here or give us a very deep retracement all the way here. Okay, so this is my expectation. So this then back up, or this all the way here and then continue trading to the upside. So I'm expecting a Euro USD sell, and I'll be taking the sells to either of these two levels. But at first, when price gets here, I'll be exiting my sells, and then I'll be light on my position if price should continue. And then we'll be looking to see what Euro USD is going to do. If it doesn't start buying from here, then we'll expect it to start buying from this place right here. Okay? So that is that on Euro USD on the 1 hour, on the 4-hour time frame. And then on the 1 hour time frame, we said that Euro USD looked to be breaking minor structure, and we're expecting it to continue selling to the downside. So with that, we're expecting any entry signature that we use on Euro USD. If I see an engulfing pattern on the 15-minute or on the 1 hour time frame, or if I see a variation pattern, which is more like a reversal pattern, printing out on Euro USD to the downside, either on the 1 hour time frame or on the 15-minute time frame, I'll be taking my sell to all these levels that I've marked: 1.06500 region and then 1.04500 region. These are the two places I'm expecting a sell on Euro USD too. Okay, and then on GBP USD, I'm also expecting something very similar to what we're seeing on Euro USD. So let's look at GBP USD together. You can see that also on the weekly time frame, GBP USD has broken its own structure clearly. You can see how that played out last week. So seeing that it has broken this structure before it trades above, there are lots and lots of regions for GBP USD to capture above in terms of liquidity grabs. So let me join two liquidity points right here. So there's an IUFED here because we have a fair value gap to the right, a fair value gap to the left, and then a left shoulder to the extreme left of this price point we're looking at. So I'm expecting GBP USD possibly to trade into this level and start selling off. But before it does so, we've seen break of structure and a grab of liquidity during this expansion of last week. So we're expecting a retracement and then a continuous expansion to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting to happen on the weekly time frame of GBP USD. Now for the daily time frame, I'm also expecting GBP USD to trade, but a little deeper compared to what we're expecting on Euro USD. For GBP USD, I'm expecting it to trade into somewhere around here. I would look into it more on the 4-hour time frame, but I'm expecting GBP USD to sell into somewhere around here, 1.27000. So that is my expectation on GBP USD. A sell into 1.27000. Okay. Now let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame for more context. Now the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price broke this low right here. Okay. Just look at this now. Price broke this low, right? After it broke this low, what did we see next? It went ahead to break this high. So possibly this is where our breaker is lying. This region right here. Our breaker is lying around there. So if we're seeing a GBP USD sell, most likely it would want to mitigate this level right here before it continues buying. This is why I have a strong point for a strong bias for seeing GBP USD sell into this level. So if it does so, I'll be taking my buy from here. So I'll be looking out for a GBP USD sell pattern forming or a reversal pattern forming on the 1-hour time frame on GBP USD with the intent of selling it into 1.27300. So you should mark that out on your various charting platforms. If you're using TradingView or using the normal MetaTrader, whichever one, whether possible buy from this level. We're not using limit orders right now, or we're not using pending orders, and beg your pardon, right now because of what we stated on Friday. So you can watch the Friday recap and you see why we're not using pending orders. One of the reasons is because of the current economic regime that we're having. Secondly, because of the new government in the United States and the erratic policy changes that they've been making in the recent weeks. So we do not want to be caught off guard where we set a limit order and then a policy is released, we just see price going in the opposite direction of our trade. So for that reason, we'll be analyzing on a day-to-day basis based on what is happening and what we are seeing in the market. Okay. Now back to GBP USD. I'm expecting it to sell into this level here and then a potential buy from that level. So we'll be looking out for sell entry signatures on GBP USD from the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, we've not seen any yet. Okay, until we see one that is very clear, we'll be taking our GBP USD buy. Most likely, I would want to see price break and grab all this liquidity residing here. Okay, and then break and grab also the liquidity residing around here. I'll be taking my sales on GBP USD from either of these two places. Okay, so right now I'm just waiting to see where the sell entry signature is going to print out. Once it does so, I'll be selling GBP USD to the downside. So let's be on the lookout for a potential GBP USD sell. If you have the entry patterns that you use, make sure you start watching out for them on GBP USD and expect a sell-off from that level, from this particular level all the way to the downside. So I'll be looking out for mine, be looking out for yours. If you do not have any, you can take advantage of the engulfing pattern. If you do not know what that means, we teach that on our FX bootcamp, or the variation pattern or the box pattern. We teach all these patterns on our FX bootcamp course. It's a private training, and if you want more information on that, you can send us a DM right away and we'll get you started on that. So I'm looking out for any of those three patterns: the engulfing pattern, the box pattern, even the base pattern on GBP USD on the 1 hour time frame and on the 15 minutes time frame. Once I see that playing out, I'll be selling GBP USD all the way to the downside. Okay, so these are my expectations on GBP USD. I'm expecting a sell. On Euro USD, I'm expecting a sell as well. And then on the dollar index, I'm expecting it to resume its buy trend from where it currently is. Seeing that it has filled up a volume imbalance that was created a couple of weeks ago. All right, so this is the volume imbalance right here, somewhere around November 5th, 2024. And price has filled up that imbalance. Now we're expecting a retracement to happen on the dollar index all the way to this level here before another round of sell. So these are my expectations on the market for today. Okay, so we're going to go on a very brief break, and when we return, we're going to continue analyzing with dollar against gold, or gold against the dollar, as we call it, XAU USD, and then we're also going to be looking at USD JPY, Euro JPY, and GBP JPY. So stay tuned as we go on this very short break.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Caller, brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. So right about now, we'll be going into the analysis, all right? So we're going into the analysis right about now for the precious metal and also for the yen basket, okay? So we are starting with the precious metal. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know, please, if you can see my screen. Clearly, let me know if you can see my screen. Please let me know in the chat box if you can see my screen. Okay. All right. So we are moving straight away into the analysis of the precious metal. Okay, so for the precious metal, we've all seen what the market has been doing, particularly our analysis last week. How we said we are expecting price to trade all the way into the trend line, and after trading into the trend line, just as we have here, then we want to see the sell to the downside. But last week, price actually traded into the trend line, and since after it gets to the trend line, we begin to see some level of range in the market. All right, so what we are expecting this week is some level of bullishness a bit to the upside, where we mark here, particularly into this daily order block. Yes, price has been ranging there, but we will likely see clear of liquidity of these levels at the top here. Then we will now begin to see the short all the way to come and clear the sell side liquidity and tap into these levels that we have here. Now, what gives us that pre-information of that level we marked at that particular point? If you look at the daily, the 4-hour time frame rather, you are going to observe that that particular level, just as you can see, that level on the 4-hour time frame, you are going to observe is a very key level for us. All right, that is where we have the fair value gap, and also you can see it here. We have the fair value gap there, and also we have more like a flip zone where price broke out. So we expect price to come all the way to clear liquidity below here and we follow through. All right, so if you look at your 1-hour time frame, you are going to observe on the 1-hour time frame too, since the bullishness of last week Monday, we've been in a very strong range, and that is what is giving us the pre-information that we may likely see price just take out this level here, the equal top at this level. Price may take it out and we begin to see the short of gold, knowing fully well, just as CJ has already said, that we may see some level of pullback on the dollar before the continuation. And as we already know that we don't use pending order currently because of what is going on, just as CJ has explained. So we just want to wait and see our levels played out. All right. And reason why we would have loved to buy when price clear this Thursday low, Friday low rather, but this particular swing did not really break out of this level, this here. So that is why we are not looking for what to buy. Instead, we allow price to trade properly into the discount level, then we can easily follow through. Now, what is really going on now, if you look at the lower time frame from the 15 minutes, you are going to observe from the 15-minute time frame, what we have right now is price seems more like being bearish all the way to the downside, but the higher time frame is still telling us that we are in a range. So where price is currently now, and knowing fully well that today is being Monday, if you look at Forex Factory, we don't have enough fundamentals to push more liquidity in the market. So it's going to be a day of shop up and down. That is what is going to be happening today. We are going to see how price is going to trade up and down. So I'm still of the opinion that today for the precious metal is going to be ranging day all through. All right, then tomorrow we may now see the clear move all the way to the upside, then the continuation to the downside as we've already predicted. Okay, now let's quickly move to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket. So if you look at the yen basket, particularly from the daily time frame, you are going to observe how that price did exactly what we want last week, but did not get to our POI. And our POI is actually this fair value gap you are seeing on the daily time frame. So that is what we are expecting. And moving forward this week, I am still of the opinion that we should still see price, because price didn't tap into that POI last week. So we should see price, tap into it this week. Then we can now begin to see the sell off to the downside. Okay, so that is the major thing we are looking out for to see on the yen basket on the daily time frame. Okay, so if you check the 4-hour time frame too, you are going to observe that last week happens also to be a ranging week for the yen basket. And the reason why we have that is last week is because of the the safe haven asset. We see dollar dump last week, and CHF was very, very strong last week, and that is why we see some level of range on the yen itself, the yen basket. All right, so moving forward this week, I am of the opinion that price should trade all the way into our POI, the daily POI, which is giving us a pre-information of what we should expect on the other yen correlated pairs like JP, JPY, and the likes like that. So this is what we are looking out to see on the yen basket this week. We expect it to trade into the daily fair value gap. Then after getting there, we can now see the short to the downside. Okay. Now, let's quickly take a look at the yen correlated pairs, starting with GBP, JPY. Now, for GBP JPY, what we are expecting for GBP JPY, it will be so amazing that we are going to see this week, moving forward this week, we are going to see similar price action on yen basket and GBP JPY, because looking at the financing currencies, GBP itself, this week there is high tendency we see a weak GBP, and at the same time, we are going to be seeing first a bullish yen, then a bearish yen. So that is going to tell us that we are likely to see GBP just trade all the way to this top here to clear liquidity, that last week high, then begin to sell all the way back down. And that becomes much more clearer for us on the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, this is exactly what we are looking out for on the 4-hour time frame. How that price, I'm very much interested in the short of GBP JPY because of the long we are expecting on the yen basket. So I'm expecting that the GBP JPY should trade all the way to come and clear this low here, this liquidity that we have here. So price is highly, coming all the way to clear this low. Then we can now begin to see the push to the upside, because when price does this one, then the yen basket would have achieved its own goal for the week. All right, so that is what we are looking out for on the yen basket for the 4-hour time frame. Let's draw the schematic so that we can work with it. All right, this is it. So we are expecting a short of GBP JPY before the long continues. All right, so we are going to see that happen. So this is what we are expecting for the week. We expect to short GBP JPY, then we can now long it. And knowing fully well from CJ's analysis too, that we are expecting a short on the GBP USD too. So if we are expecting a short on GBP USD, then we should look out to also short GBP JPY, knowing fully well that our overall expectation on the yen basket is a long of the yen basket. All right, let's quickly check AUD USD to know where exactly we are heading to on that pair too. Now for AUD USD, it has a different story entirely, because we already see it, build its own move to the downside. We've seen it to the downside already. The price already traded into discount, and now we are expecting it to, long all the way to the upside. So where exactly are we expecting AUD USD to long into? We're expecting AUD USD to long all the way into this level that we have here. So when price gets here and take out liquidity here, then we can now begin to see the short of AUD USD, and we may likely see the the commodity pair this week. We may likely see them become very strong, and that is simply telling us what we should see on AUD JPY. So AUD JPY, we expect it to long a bit to this level, then start its own sell, because it's looking more that it's lagging compared to the other yen pairs. But if you check Euro USD, looking at Euro JPY rather, if you check Euro JPY, you are going to observe on Euro JPY, we already have a very strong long all the way to the upside. Remember what we are looking out for on Euro JPY sometimes last week, how that we expect price to long all the way here as a first POI, and if we see sell signature here, we can easily short to downside. But we see that all throughout last week, it was a bullish week for the euro. All right, and that is why we have price long all the way to this level. So moving forward for Euro JPY this week, what we are expecting is for it to also play out exactly what GBP JPY would also do, because they happens to be the leading pair of the yen pairs, among the yen pairs rather. All right, so this is what I'm expecting for Euro JPY. How that price should trade first into this order block, this discount, then we can now begin to see the long to the upside. But for GBP JPY, is expected to clear its own liquidity, but we may not likely see Euro JPY clear liquidity at this point. Instead, it will just trade into first this flip zone that we have here. Then price can now further push again into this level here, this order block for our order block. And just inside, above the order block, we have the fair value gap there. I wish we all can see it well. You can see it between this candle and this. We have the fair value gap there. So that is the level we are expecting Euro JPY to trade into. All right, so let's check on the 1 hour time frame. Are we ready to follow Euro JPY to the downside? Now, looking at the structure that we have here, we already see some level of market structure shift around this level since Friday, and that is why we see price come all the way to this place. Now, where price is now is a good place to short. However, sometimes you may want to wait a bit to see, and knowing fully well that today may be a very silent day in the market. So I'm expecting price to come all the way again to take out this equal high. And when price takes out this equal high and it traded into this IFD that we have here, then we can easily start the overall short of Euro JPY for the week. All right, so that is it for the yen correlated pairs, the yen basket, and the precious metal. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let's quickly attend to it before we call it a day. All right, do you have any question, please? Any question? All right, Jafet said GBP JPY. Yes, we've gone through GBP JPY. It's so amazing how Jafet used to come for the analysis sometimes late. All right, okay, let's quickly just a wrap an overview of what we are expecting generally. We said we are expecting the precious metal to first long a bit all the way into our POI that we already marked, that trend line, because price is currently ranging, and because of the range, what we are expecting for the precious metal after this range is first a breakout to sweep liquidity, which we are going to see that much more clearly on the 4-hour time frame. So first a breakout to sweep liquidity here and proper tap into this correlated point, then we can easily short all the way into this 4-hour fair value gap and reference point. Remember, we have this level just below here that we are expecting price to come and take out. This equal double bottom. We expect that price to come, take it out and tap into this fair value gap, then we can follow through to the upside. But we are looking to short the precious metal somewhere around this level to the downside. So that's for the precious metal. That's the overall move for the week. And for GBP JPY, what we are looking out for GBP JPY is a short all the way to this downside, then we can easily long. And we look at it on the 15-minute time frame. What is the current move that we have on the 15-minute time frame? Now, right now, price just traded into the 15-minute order block for the GBP JPY, but I'm still of the opinion that we may see price reaction around this zone here, the 189.830 level, all the way to the upside again before the full trend, before the full sell to the downside. Knowing fully well that this level that we are seeing here, there's high probability for price to still come trade into it, then we begin to see the overall sell to the downside for GBP/JPY. So that is our outlook for GBP/JPY. And on the 4-hour time frame, remember we are selling it all the way to come and clear liquidity here, then we can now begin to long it back again. And that is the the outlook for GBP/JPY. And the same thing happens to AUD/JPY too. We are going to see similar reaction on AUD/JPY. But for AUD/JPY, we first want to see the long of it all the way to clear liquidity here. Then we begin to short. This is what we are expecting for AUD/JPY. All right, price take out this high and then begin to short back down. but we can see that AUD/JPY happens to be the one lagging currently among the yen pairs, AUD/JPY, and a bit of NZD/JPY too. If you trade NZD/JPY, you can look at it. But for Euro/JPY, what we are expecting for Euro/JPY is price to come, take out this high here, then begin to short all the way down into this for our order block and fair value gap, very tiny one here, then we begin to long back to the upside. So that is our outlook for GBP/JPY, Euro/JPY, AUD/JPY, and the precious metal. All right. If there is no further question, remember this is okay. Okay, I'm seeing some questions here. Why are we looking to short gold when it's on a bullish trend? All right, thank you. Now you can see it's on a bullish trend, and knowing fully well that yes, you are very correct. But what we are expecting for the week is just a pullback of the precious metal, a pullback for the precious metal. Then we continue the long, and this is it out here, right here is just a pullback of the precious metal. All right, so this is what we're expecting to see. The sell is not a long-term sell, knowing fully well that this is what it can just do on a daily time frame. Okay, so this is what we are expecting to see. The price should long all the way to this level, then a short to the downside, because we're expecting the dollar to pull back a bit this week. All right, and knowing fully well that is highly overpriced, and at the same time we are still expecting price to still move forward up to the upside. So what we're expecting is a long buy of gold to this level, then a short pullback for the continuation of the overall trend. So that is it. That's what we are looking out for the week on the precious metal. But if you have your own buyers, you can easily, look it out. If it suits your price, price entry, then we can easily follow through. Okay. So one thing I will expect is, oh, Mr. Ladipo, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. So the best thing you can do is just register for the bootcamp and you get the best knowledge of it. All this we do here, we get the best of it in the bootcamp. And you want to ask, how can I register for the bootcamp? Just reach out to us on our WhatsApp line. All right, so that's it, or any of our social media handle. We are going to attend to you and give you everything you need to become profitable in the market. Someone said, what's the projection for AUD/USD? That is the analysis for tomorrow. You can join us tomorrow by 8:30 a.m. Then you are going to get the analysis for AUD/USD. All right, yes, so that is it. Thank you very much. This is going to be the end of the market call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. And we would love to see you in the New York session by 2 p.m. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. I'm the Ejimi. Cheers and God bless.